After the rainy season, summer began with a burst of bright sunshine. I picked up a book I'd been waiting to read and took a walk on the sunlight way, but the summery weather left me too excited to sit down and read. So I went to the cafe where we usually all gathered. I was sitting at a corner table with my friends enjoying the air conditioning.
やっぱり彼はがアルバイト始めてここのお客さん増えてるみたい。
Oh, I'm sure that's true. To be honest, I know I'm coming here more often. As I looked around, I saw plenty of customers, even though it wasn't lunchtime. Most of them were male.
ありがとうございますわ。でもここのお店のケーキはとても美味しいんですの。多分そのためではないでしょうか。
I don't think that's the reason they're probably there. Asa-Senpai bashfully denied our theory she wasn't working today, so she was wearing her normal clothes. I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see her in her waitress uniform, but it was rare to see her in plain clothes, so it wasn't all bad.
ケーキの味で男性客が増えるなんて話聞いたことありませんけどね。
That would be kind of rare. I can imagine some guy that just comes just like, so do you come for the waitress costumes or what? Like, no. I must admit, this place has some nice food. You're like, serious? That's the real reason you're here? Yeah, totally. I mean, why else would I be here? Dude, you're a guy. What? But surely you're here for that. Hey, don't stereotype me, asshole.
僕もああいう可愛い服着てみたいな。よろしければ朝ちゃんもご一緒に働きませんか？朝ちゃんでしたら大歓迎です。僕にはああいう可愛いのは似合わないと思うし、ちょっと勘弁かな。
You think so? I think you look pretty cute too, Asa-Senpai. I tried to picture it in my mind, it didn't look bad at all. But not worthy of a CG, I see. Hey, please don't look like that. You're pretty cute, I really do think you could pull it off.
可愛いって、
But what about the one in Higurashi? How would that look? I don't know. As the senpai turned beet red and moved timidly, which made her extremely adorable. If you get a chance, please try it. I truly want to see you in it.
うん。りんちゃんがそう言うなら考えてみる。
Then it never happens. She looked down. I don't care what anyone else says. She was really cute.
朝ちゃん可愛らしいです。もう、りんちゃんも彼はも人をからかって。誰もからかってなんていませんわ。そうですわよね、りんさん。
Of course not. We've given you an honest opinions.
だからなんでそこで顔をあからめるのよ。
For the next few hours, Asa-Senpai and I had fun talking about what type of clothes Asa-Senpai would look good in. She blushed, but at the same time we could see her taking notes. I guess she was enjoying it after all. However, we're talking about things like maid costumes, shrine maiden outfits, all kinds of crazy stuff. Man, it's always the same two things with you guys, isn't it? Maids and shrine maidens. I walked down the empty street with Asa-Senpai now that Asa-Senpai had left. I usually try not to think about it, but when we were alone like this, I couldn't help it. Her small, pale, scarlet lips were right next to me. I could feel their soft, warm feeling. I could feel my face getting red, so I looked away. I couldn't tell her if she knew how I felt about her. Asa-Senpai just kept smiling and didn't start a conversation. I think I said that entirely wrong. What I saw was a very quiet Asa-Senpai, a sign of her I was unfamiliar with, because she never shuts the hell up. A lazy voice from behind suddenly broke the tension between us. When I turned around to see who it was, I could feel our usual atmosphere returning. Boy, was I thankful for it.
あーちゃん、 かえり。お母さん、
Oops, I
あー
skipped
ちゃん
it.
のケーキ用の材料も少しだけど買ってきたからね。
I hate it when I accidentally skip it. It doesn't even make sense. I just press enter and suddenly just freaking goes right past it.
もう買い物なんて言ってくれれば帰りにでも僕がしてくるのに。
I mean, I've gotta press enter twice, otherwise the dialogue would go as slow as this. I'll give you an example.
でもお散歩好きだからそのついでみたいなものだし。
See how slow that was?
お母さん暇さえあれば歩いてるもんね。
I mean, she'd finished her freaking lines there, and it wasn't even finished scrolling.
お散歩は健康にもいいから。
Mother and daughter were having a carefree conversation. Ama-san was always thinking about Asa's well-being. Asa-Senpai was always thinking about her mother, so they got along well. Asa-Senpai even started wearing a ribbon in her hair because she wanted to wear the same type as her mother. I wondered if Kaide and I wouldn't have had a relationship like theirs if our mothers were still alive. Then she went out of existence. Suddenly, Asa-Senpai's body shook and fell towards me. What? I caught her in a hurry. Asa-Senpai?
あーちゃん。ごめんね。大丈夫。大したことないから。ちょっとめまいしただけ。
Her voice was weak and her body was still limp.
あーちゃん、大丈夫？
Ama-san's worriedly looked at her daughter's face as the senpai forced herself to smile for her mother.
大丈夫だから。すぐ治るから。ごめんね、りんちゃん。
Did you stay up late again? You need to take care of yourself.
昨日はそれほどでもなかったはずなんだけど。よし、もう大丈夫。皆さんご心配おかけしました。
I think that's probably going to play some important role, or maybe it'll just be one of those type of things where it's like, okay, remember that scene that happened? Yeah, well, about that, it's never going to be addressed again. As she said that, she tried standing up, but she was still a little wobbly. Come on, you really shouldn't fake it at a time like this. I told Asa-Senpai, took Asa-Senpai's hand and let her lean on me. I held her around her hip with my other arm.
りんちゃん？
I'll walk you home. Is that okay, Ama-san?
りっちゃん、お願いね。でも僕、ありがとう。
So, I take it we never see her dad then. Most likely. Because I'm gonna assume that her dad has green hair. I mean, they've got the same color eyes as her mother, but her mother doesn't have the same hair color. And then again, there are anime characters that have, like, parents that don't have the same hair color. And then it's just like... I mean, like, in real life, it kind of works that way with gingers. I mean, you get parents that aren't ginger, but have a ginger child. But is it the same case with anime? Does it have random hair colors that do that? Explain! It will probably never ever be explained. It's just kind of add variety to hair color. Otherwise, everyone just have the same color hair. Black, brown hair. Pretty much that, most likely. With an occasional person that's dyed their hair blonde. I stopped her from trying to fake it again. With a nasty look, I supported her body and started walking slowly. Finally, as Senpai gave in, she looked a bit embarrassed, but she let me prop her up. Now, come to think about it, a visual novel that I have played where every character, you know, like, looks Japanese and, like, doesn't have any, like, out there kind of hair color, like, green, blue, or anything like that, where everyone's hair color is either black or brown, is, I think it was called Kana Shoujo. Not to be confused with Karawa Shoujo, this is a completely different one here. It's like a kind of murder detective kind of visual novel. It's pretty good, but man, it gets pretty messed up. It's like, holy shit. But yeah, the art style though is really nice. Her body felt more delicate than I thought, making me realize that she was a woman. Her body heat was making me a little embarrassed, but felt strangely good at the same time. Ama-san kept a tender eye on us. So am I right in that scene is not going to be addressed again? It's just kind of she wasn't feeling very well that day.
Rin-chan!
Asa-Senpai? Asa-Senpai showed up out of nowhere and right away she locked her arm with mine and stood right next to me. My arm was all too aware of her obviously voluptuous chest. Although I tried to pull my arm away from her, the comforting feeling wins over and I end up accepting her. How sad a guy's arm. Asa-Senpai likely knew what was going on in my mind as she was smiling happily.
せっかくなんだし、一緒に帰らない？
Don't you live in a different direction?
それでも5分くらいは一緒にいられるじゃない。少しでも長く一緒にいたいっていう乙女心なのですね。
I felt a different sort of emotion behind those words than before. What happened then as Senpai's house came back to my mind. A soft feeling of her lips and her hot breath. Her dewy, feverish eyes.
彼はもう気を利かせてくれちゃったみたいで、先に帰っちゃったのよね。
Asa-Senpai walked the school's grounds cheerfully as she pulled me alongside her. I noticed it a little while earlier. Being with her made me happy. I liked her in a special way, but that's why I couldn't understand. It concerned me. I couldn't tell what Asa Shigeri really thought of me. I wanted to know that more than anything else, and it was the answer I was searching for. For I knew it had happened. Why did you kiss me? It's like after how many days have passed, you're like, okay, back then, why did you do that? You said before that you can't see me as someone who you can do things like that with. You were serious, weren't you? Then, why me? What made you change your mind? I can't understand what you're thinking, so I don't know what to do. Well, it happened after you, told about, the past, or maybe it's I don't know. Her hand parted from mine. She moved a few steps away, and with her back towards me, she tilted her head a little.
理由って言われちゃうと困っちゃうんだけど、仕方ないじゃない。
Then she turned to me.
だって好きになっちゃったんだもん。
Her smile, accompanied by a pair of sunset blushed cheeks, was the most beautiful smile I'd ever seen. So maybe I just realize it's someone who would sacrifice all that just to not make Kaede all ridiculously depressed, give her a reason to live, very much saved her life, to sacrifice what he did, just not many people could do that, Some people wouldn't, do that, so he's just must be a very strong person and caring person to do something like that.
先輩じゃあね、もう嫌になっちゃった。
But why all of a sudden?
僕がね、世界で一番尊敬している人と同じなの。
And there is that as well, whoever she is talking about, which I don't know, because I've never gone through this route, because this is whole blind LP pretty much.
同じ強さを持ってた。同じように頑張ってた。人を好きになるなんて、これだけで十分じゃないかな。
Come to think of it, I think this is the first time I've ever gone for a visual novel blindly, as an LP.
これでも十分すぎると思う。楓の気持ちも、シアちゃん、リンちゃんのことも分かってる。リンちゃんしか見えなくなっちゃったから。
She spoke with a smile, those were her true feelings. Her smile was beautiful because she was telling the truth.
リンちゃんは、僕じゃダメ？あれでもね、初めてだったんだから。特別でもない人に捧げるほど軽くもないつもりなんだけど、僕は。
How could I not like her? Actually, I was starting to really like her. I liked her cheerfulness. I liked her how domestic and caring she was. I liked how affectionate she was too. I was starting to see the girl in front of me, Asa Shiguri, as a very special girl. But I don't get it. That's all I could say. Something was stopping me from going any further. But Asa-Senpai smiled at me.
つまりダメってわけじゃないってことかな。これも立派な前進だよね。
That wasn't that just special. Man, this route is way different. Like, I forgot her name for a second there. Kaida's route was kind of like short, in like the plot was like right at the end, and it was nice, but then it ended so suddenly that he's just like, what? That's it? And like the two awkward, hentai scenes that just popped up. And then, just like, that happened really soon into her route, and then her route pretty much ended right after that, after a bit of plot. It's like, what, that was it? We haven't even got to one of those scenes in this route, and it's had plenty of development going on here and there. This one's a lot more, it seems like it was worked on a lot more. The girl crumbled down onto the cracked ground like a doll. It's that scene again, even her footing melted into nothingness. In the dark, empty space, her body floated without moving. Her fair skin stood out against jet-black air, and her purple twin tail spread in the darkness. But this is not an important scene for this route, but I will, go through it anyway. Primula? I mumbled her name, but there wasn't a reply. Primula? I screamed her name, that wasn't screaming her name. But whatever, while picking up her tiny body, but she still didn't see me. Her arms hung limp, and her purple eyes looked empty like a broken toy's. Primula! There wasn't an answer, no matter how many times I called her, no warmth, no will. She was just like a doll. Just like a man-made doll. A doll with broken strings. That wouldn't move anymore. And scene. The light from the window burned against my, and the sweat soaked through my shirt, and I only felt continuous discomfort. I got up and stared blankly at the wall in front of me. What was that, a dream? I looked down at my hands and felt relieved not to see a girl with purple hair in my arms. I was thankful not to be in that darkness. I guess she's gone out with Kaide. I went to see Primula, so I went to her room only to find that it was empty. What a nightmare. That Primula in my dream, that was surely a doll. She looked like a doll. Homunculus. A doll without a life, a doll that doesn't move, a doll that is created. Then I understood for the first time that Primula was an entirely artificial existence. That realization spread through me, making me concerned. Fear of being artificial was latching onto me. The temperature was already high despite it still being early in the day. Staying home would only make me feel depressed, so I headed out into the summer sun, hoping it would take my mind off my fears. But the next moment a large familiar figure appeared in front of me.
Yo, リン殿。聞いてるぜ。栗村のやつとうまくやれてるらしいじゃねえか。
Yeah. I answered with a forced greeting. Now that I think about it, Primula was created by both gods and devils. I'm sure the king of the gods would know something about her. Do you know anything about the homunculus? Whatever. The gods and devils work together to create them, right?
まあな。これでも一応は深海の最高責任者だぜ。
In that case, could you tell me a little about them? I know you made three altogether, I also know that the other two are probably dead. But why did they die? Will the same thing happen to Primula? Remember the sight of the girl who turned into a doll in the darkness? She didn't see, didn't hear, didn't speak. It was exactly like the scene from 8 years ago. The king of the gods put his hand beneath his chin and made a thoughtful face.
なるほどね。さすがに麻婆のやつもその辺は教えてなかったか。
Is it something I shouldn't know?
どちらかといえばまずい話だが。 そうだな。その
Oops. For a moment, his expression became cloudy and grim, but he pressed on, looking gravely serious.
まずは最初の質問だがな。そいつは簡単なことだ。体が耐えきれなかったのさ。
Couldn't keep up.
人工生命体の作られた理由、そいつは聞いてるか？
To research magic, and so exceptionally strong power was needed.
そうだ。つまり人工生命体ってのが強大な魔力を持っていることが最低条件になる。なら、どうすりゃ強大な魔力の持ち主が作れるのか。最初の一人目は強化だった。魔族の中から一人を選抜し、その力を特殊な方法で無理やりに引き上げる。ま、結果は言わずもがな、だな。
They say forcefully, so did they just pick someone random against their will, just we're gonna make you stronger as an experiment?
魔力そのものは確かに引き上げられたんだが、何分それを扱う器が小さすぎた。その失敗を受けて作られた二人目は複製だ。人間界でいうところのクローンってやつだな。もともと強大な魔力を持った魔族の遺伝子を改造し、強大な魔力を持たせ育て上げる。異世界屈指の魔力とそれを制御できるだけの器。もともと持っていた素質を育て強化することで限界以上の魔力を制御できる力をつけさせるって予定だったんだが、複製された遺伝子ってのが予想以上に劣化が激しくてな。途中まではいい線いってたんだが、結局失敗だ。どちらも強大な魔力を持たせちまったはいいが、それを扱いきれる器を用意できなかったってわけだ。
Then Primula too?
慌てんなって。で、二つ目の質問、プリムラについてなんだが、おそらくは問題ない。前の2つの失敗を受けて作られた3人目、その方法はな、生産だ。親族と魔族を超える魔力を持ち、それを扱いきれる器を持った新しい生命体をゼロから作り上げたのさ。
From nothing? How's that even possible?
普通なら無理だ。だがな、いくつもの失敗といくつもの偶然、そしていくつもの奇跡、それらがたまたまきれいに混ざり合って天文学的数字の確率を拾い上げた。つまりだ、プリムラってのは奇跡の具現化。もう一度作ろうとしたって絶対にできねえ。替えの利かないたった一人の実験体なんだよ。
One and only, huh?
ま、そういうわけでプリムラのやつは必要以上に大事に育てられてきたわけなんだが、ちと大事にしすぎたみてえだな。期待してるぜ、リン殿。あの無感情娘のことをしっかり面倒見てくれよな。
The king of the gods gave me a wide smile and slapped me on the back a few times and left. The one and only. That's why she was overly cared for. She wasn't cared for, she'd just be an experiment. She lost her emotions. She doesn't have any true relatives or family. She merely existed as time passed by around her. Primula. But I thought I could see her emotions behind her lack of expression. I felt like I could see fleeting hints of a sad gleam deep inside of her purple eyes. The smile she showed when I gave her the stuffed animals. To see that smile again, I knew I had to make it happen. But this is not the time for that. So we have to go for Nirene's route first.
今日帰りに2人で。
緑場、今日はそれで8人目だぞ。いい加減に抑えろ。
Again? You'll never change. Unlike the cool summer we had last year, this one was a scorcher. The Academy's pool was a very popular gathering place. Of course, there were plenty of girls which made it like heaven for Itsuki. It sounded like he'd been coming there every day with a wry smile. Miss B said that if she needed to find him, she knew where to look. I'm telling you, he won't change, ever.
あのバイタリティは単純にすごいですよね。
When it comes to vitality, it's the toss-up between Itsuki and Mayumi.
朝先輩もすごいと思いますけど。
Asa-Senpai, huh?
凛ちゃんは僕じゃダメ？
I'm sure she was serious. I could see her smile in the sunset. It wasn't the same smile she showed her friends, it had some special emotions behind it.
凛くん？
No, nothing.
でもそういえば今日は朝先輩の姿見ませんね。昼間はだいたいいるんですけど。
You're right, maybe she ran out of energy.
無茶をしても仕方ないですから、たまには休んだ方がいいです。
That's true. I jumped into the pool to escape. Actually, I was glad she wasn't there. I didn't know what to say or how to act towards her. It's not that I didn't like her or anything. It's just that I was still unclear about my feelings for her. She confessed her feelings so directly, I just didn't know what to say to her. What nice weather. As I looked up, I saw the blue sky.
それじゃあ私は買い物していきますから。
No, it's March now and the sky still doesn't look like that, but obviously it wouldn't right off the bat. I wonder when we'll actually get a sky like that again. We did actually a while back, sort of. It was a nice day as well. You going by yourself again?
今日はそれほど荷物ないですから大丈夫です。凛くんは先に戻ってゆっくり休んでいてください。
She runs off. Hey! I tried running after her, but a voice stopped me from behind.
凛さ
I saw Carefree-Senpai running towards me in a hurry. Carefree-Senpai?
ん、よかったですわ。まだいてくださったんですね。
What's going on?
朝ちゃんが倒れましたの。
Collapsed? Where? Oh man, I hate to do this, especially since I don't know what's gonna happen either. So this time we're both in this one, viewers. We're both gonna be like, damn it, cliffhanger, no! This isn't one of those cliffhangers. It's more of the shit cliffhanger because I feel it's fitting to put a cliffhanger there, even if it's a cliffhanger to me because I don't know what's gonna happen either. Damn it, we'll wait for another day. So I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.